I wanted to put up a quick video showing some of the really cool coding enhancements in Flash Builder 4.5. Flash Builder 4.5 got a lot of attention for all of the mobile workflows and being able to target iPhones, iPads, Android devices, BlackBerry playbooks, but lost in the mix a little bit, I think, is some of the coding enhancements no matter what kind of project you're working on. I'm just going to show a couple quick things that have been added, again, to Flash Builder 4.5. We're all familiar with our lovely code hinting of being able to add in an object in our MXML, just like a button. When I add a click event to my button, it prompts me to generate a click handler. And this isn't anything new. This was around in Flash Builder 4. The only difference, though, is after I generate the click handler, it of course gives it the sort of ugly function name of button1 underscore click handler, which we'd have to refactor or copy paste and rename in the older versions. But now you'll notice it's highlighted right now. And if I start typing, you'll see that it begins changing the script block as well. I can even start tabbing through the different options, and as I tab to the accessor on the function, I can see that I can change it to private or public. I can again tab and change it to do something else, and it continues to update it. Get to the return type, which for the event would always be void, and then I can begin adding in some statements here. So event generation in MXML is very nice. This is also the same thing in ActionScript. If I were to be making a button with ActionScript, or maybe you're doing a pure ActionScript project, and I add an event listener for my button, you can see I get all my, again, code hinting that you'd expect, mouse event.click. Maybe I'm going to submit something. Now again, I have to make this method. Well, I'm going to use the shortcut Control-1. This is quick fix, and it's been around in Flash Builder, but it didn't do as much as it does now. If I hit Control-1 right now, you'll see I get a pop-up that asks me if I want to generate an event handler, and I'm going to hit Enter to do that. Same as before, it generates the method, it highlights the method name so that I could rename it if I want, but I'm fine with whatever it is for the purpose of this demo. Again, tab through, being able to edit it, and then begin, adding in whatever information I need to put in here. Again, really cool kind of enhancement for doing event listeners the ActionScript way. Let's talk variables. As you're working in a method and you realize that this variable should be declared in the local scope here, not within the method, or as a local variable to the method, if I hit Control-1 again, quick fix, you'll see that I can convert this local variable to a field or a property of the class that I'm in. And if I hit Enter, what happens is it moves that variable to be declared outside the function, and now just I'm updating the value in here. And I can tab through it again, rename it, change if it's public or private. Again, really nice for as you're kind of creating variables as you're going along. Well, let's step it up a notch. What if you are declaring an object that you don't have a class file for yet? This is going to be one of your own custom objects. Well, I'm adding a variable here, some object, colon, some class equals new some class. I'm going to hit Control-1 for my quick fix, and you'll see it asks if I want to generate a class or an interface associated with this. And again, it's just seeing that that doesn't exist, and it's giving you the option for class or interface. I'm just going to hit Enter. It pops open the class so that I could, put it in a utils package, public, internal, whatever I want to declare the class, have it based on whatever I want. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to hit Finish. And what it does is it actually declares a class. And what's even cooler is I can start working with this class and adding properties and methods to it without even opening that file. And that's again a part of some of these coding enhancements. So I can say some object dot ID if I wanted to set an ID of it, or that had something to do with how I was keeping track of something. Well, again, if I hit Control 1, you'll see that it says, do you want to create an instance variable ID in some class? Because it doesn't have that member yet. So I'm going to do that. And at this time, I'm going to actually pop open the class file so that you can see that it did create that ID. Another nice thing with any variable, whether in a class or an MXML file, is the ability to highlight it or have your cursor on it, hit Control 1 again, and generate a getter and setter. And we could do this in Flash Builder 4, but it's just nice to do it with the quick fix shortcut. It's going to rename it to a underscore ID. I'm generating both getters and setters that are public. I can choose when I want those to show up. I hit OK, and it generates those getters and setters for me. In the setter, you might have some conditional logic centered around what we're doing here. Another nice feature added into 4.5 is the ability to use code templates. I'm going to hit Control Spacebar, which is the universal shortcut for give me code hinting. If I hit it again, you'll see that it's suggesting templates, and these are all built into Flash Builder. So here's an if-else-if template. If I select it, you'll see I automatically get a condition where I could say if value equals 0, I want to do something, or if value is greater than 0, I want to do something. Quickly generating this sort of code template or code block that we do over and over and over again. And there are lots. If I call up my templates again, all sorts of templates as I kind of scroll through here to create packages, remote object connections, something like a vector. If you don't make vectors a lot and you always forget the syntax, it's just nice to be able to create a vector of numbers very quickly without having to remember syntax. And what's nice is you can add your own code templates. So if I were to go up to the window menu, Preferences, go into Flash Builder, Editors, Code Templates, and Action Script, you'll see all the built-in templates, and you'll see the ability to create your own template right in here. You can do the same thing for MXML. You can see there's templates for creating all the different MXML objects, but if you always generate a certain panel with a button in it or whatever object you might generate over and over again, you can create a template for that. And you can even enable or disable the templates that you don't use so that they don't fill up that list. So that was a real quick overview of just a couple of the coding enhancements that are in Flash Builder 4.5. I didn't cover everything that was in there, so there's plenty more, but make sure you're using that code hinting, make sure you're using that Control 1, that quick fix for generating functions and methods and properties of classes. It'll really help streamline your development process and help you code faster.